And I'm here with the U of A cross-country coach James Lee. Coach Lee, we have a big weekend this week with the NCAA pre-nationals for the cross-country team. Just give us a little preview of what you expect.
Well, it's one of the probably the biggest meet in the country for the whole year. You know, other than the NCAA championships. I think it's even more competitive than the Pac-10 championships, although I think Pac-10 championships is pretty close to this one in terms of competitiveness. But anyway, it's where we're gonna go. Another opportunity for us to score some points in anticipation of a need for a large bid for the national championships. We did very well on the women's side at the GRIAC Invitational in Minneapolis about 3 weeks ago. I think this is another opportunity to really solidify our spot, hopefully.
The GRIAC, how big of a win was that GRIAC Invitational from a confidence standpoint for the women and just as a team as the season goes on?
It was a great win for us. You know, obviously it was our first win on the women's side in that meet, and there were a lot of good teams, and the teams that we would expect that they will have a good chance of making out their region, which, you know, for us to beat them, it's huge, because then, which means points for us. You know, going into that race, you know, we were thinking that we had a chance to win and hoping that was going to happen. Wasn't really sure, you know, how our team would fit into that kind of competition. But then, you know, the ladies all came through and did very well, and you know, with a very tight group, and that we won this pretty handily, and then it really helped the team establish ourselves as one of the top teams in the nation.
Going back to that, you guys entered the pre-national meet last year and kind of shocked a lot of teams and really almost, I would say, put yourself on the map. This year, coming in number 6 in the country, not going to shock anyone. What are the expectations coming in?
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the case. In fact, you know, our assistant coach, Aaron Dawson, and I were even just talking about it this morning. You know, we go there and we have no more shock factor, and then we shouldn't be, you know, shocked for us to do well, which, you know, we really do expect us to do still reasonably well there. You know, I mean, last year was a thrill, but this year I think it's just the experience of competing in a big race like that. You know, in our women's race, there is going to be 39 teams, and just running like that, very much like a national championship kind of field, at least the size-wise. Not quite in terms of quality, but size-wise. And I think it's going to be really helping our team, you know, to get ready. And after all, we still have a very young team.
On the men's side, I mean, they're also competing this weekend. How can a meet like this just help the men out?
Well, I think it's, you know, the men's team, and you know, we're leading by Steven Sambu, and then he's going to have an opportunity to run with some really top runners. And at the moment, you know, in fact, we're not completely sure how he's going to be able to do, because he's had a little bit issue with the leg earlier this week. But you know, when he runs, and it's just going to be so important to really run against some top runners in the nation. And then for the other, you know, members of the team, again, this is going to be a big race, and it's a big test, and hopefully they all will step up. And you know, we have a bunch of middle distance runners, and you know, they need to step up at this 8K course and run reasonably well.
Back to Steven real quick. When healthy, how good is he?
Well, I think he is, you know, I mean, I would be surprised if he is not for sure a top 10 runner in the country, and I think he probably should be somewhere around the top 5 runner in the country. He is really very smart and very strong runner.
What this weekend would make, what would make this weekend a success?
I think if our women's team go there, finish the top 3 or 4 in their race, because I mean we get a tough race still there, and there are definitely I mean there's no less than 8 teams that are ranked currently. So I mean they're all good teams, but if we can go there, finish in the top 3, I think that'll be something that I would call it a success for sure. And then on the men's side, and I really just focus on each of the individual members to have a relative to what they've done in the past, and to have a good strong race. I want everyone to have a good race, and if we do that, I think we'll do fine.
Any final closing comments you'd like to say?
Well, this is just we're 2 weeks from Pac-10 and 4 or 5 weeks from the Nationals, and this is another major step, and I think it's about time for us to really step up and in a big competition and run well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.